I had to get out of Hollywood, get back to the trenches. They said they need me. Little Fish. I used to cop my little Reggie trying to feed myself. My cousin had that work, but I ain't need no help. Man, I was so fucked up, I couldn't believe myself. That's why I be at the jeweler trying to freeze myself. Cause my heart's so cold, we ain't got no goals. All these young niggas killing like they ain't got no soul. Talking Grandma Keys before I caught my rose. It was all so sweet until Dashawn told. Really hurt my heart, ripped my feelings apart. Our affiliates dark. We was really so scarred, but acting silly so hard. But we just wanted some love. Mama working, daddy did, I just wanted a hug. Why you think we spillin' spade when we go to the club?
All right, guys, as promised from last year, I wanted to show you a little bit about structure scan. So we're going to begin a little bit here by teaching you a few things. If you see all those white dots coming across the screen right there, anytime you see white dots like that, those are fish. This arrow right here, see how this is forming a V in that grass where that arrow is? Those are key spots you want to look for, is those little indentions. And as you can see out a little bit further, there's a couple fish hanging out right there. So it's kind of important that you pay attention to details of these screens and try to make it. I usually keep my side scan on 100 feet per side. And what you're looking at here in the center portion of this, see, you can see two more fish right there sitting on structure. What you normally want to look for. Also, here's another high spot right here too. You can see that high spot on the right hand side. And anything that comes out like that, you want to focus there. You can see the shadow right next to that piece of structure right there. That's another key area that you want to focus on. It's best to just mark it with a waypoint, and then you can come back and hit it exactly how it is. Coming up here, we got a giant roadbed. Now, this is what your roadbeds look like on side scan, so keep that in mind. You can see exactly what it looks like. That's a road, old road. The center portion right here where it has nothing, that's where your boat is. So don't pay attention to anything right there. All this is underneath the boat. Anything to the right and to the left is what you want to look at. Always from the top too. As you pass something directly, the very top of the screen is where that's going to start at. All this clutter in the middle, these are just bait fish underneath of the boat. You can kind of see them on down scan a little bit here. Also, I told you I would show you how to find the thermocline. The thermocline on the right-hand side on down scan is where that fuzziness starts. That's where your thermocline is. You can notice all the bait is above that. A huge rock pile coming up on the right-hand side. This is key stuff. If you see this, you want to fish it. It's even better if you're seeing white dots all over the screen too. There's plenty of bait here. You can see that. Coming across another roadbed now. This is a perfect roadbed. You can see it clearly defined, and then on the right-hand side, there's a huge drop-off. You can see the shadow of the actual road. My thumb is pointing at it right there. See the guardrail? You can see the guardrail on the left-hand side. It's amazing the detail that these can do. So your key area you would want to focus, you can see all these fish on the road. And then this high spot right there, the high spot, that's exactly where you want your bait to be, is on that high spot. When they want to feed, they're going to come up to that highest point, which would be that high spot right there. You can see the other portion. This is actually a turn in the roadbed. You can see how it turns. And that left side right there, again, where it's the brightest on the screen is where your high spot is. That's what you want to mark and fish. It's very important that you're hitting the high spots. The low spots really are where they're going to be when they're not active. You see the balls of bait fish underneath the boat. That's all. If you got bait near a roadbed, that's all you need. That's some of the best stuff that you can find is roadbeds with bait on them. Again, all right, let me go back to the thermocline real quick. On the right-hand side, you can see right about now, you can see where that thermocline hit that surface, or that the structure on the bottom. That's the kind of stuff that you want to target where that thermocline ends and that high spot is. On the left side here, I just pointed at it again. That's another road bed. This is more a faint one because it's out pretty deep, so you can't see it as well. Once you get in a little bit shallower, you can see it a lot better. But road beds, this is what they look like, and you want to try and find the high spot on the road bed or structure on the road bed. Same thing here. You're seeing bait in the center, and then look on down scan, you can see them as well. All these little dots now on the right hand side, this just turns from regular, just flat bottom, and now here you go with a bunch of gravel. And like I said before, you want to come back to anything that has changed. Now this is a huge change here. You have flat, 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 and then it's straight gravel. Another deep area that you want to target in the summertime or the wintertime. You can see there's fish scattered all over this flat. The way normally how you can tell that they're bass is when they're on structure and you see 2 or 3, 4 or 5 dots right next to each other. That's how you know that they're bass. If they're on top of one another, it's normally not bass. You want to find them to where they're on the bottom or a little bit off the bottom and directly right next to each other. Here's another. See, it goes flat, flat. Here's a little ditch before the arrow, and then the top of this gravel is what you want to target. Right on top there where it kind of gets, it look almost rough. That's the kind of stuff that you want to focus on. And then it comes down back into a ditch again, and then here's another high spot. So these are areas, you can see there's 2 fish side by side right on the top of that, that high spot right there. Those are catchable fish. Those are ones that you can target all day long and be able to catch. Right there, that rock that the arrow's pointing at right now. Now, keep in mind, too, on your side scan, now that rock doesn't look very big, but I can promise you that that rock is probably almost the size of a car. When you're looking at it on down scan or side scan, it's going to look much smaller in comparison to real life. So that's another thing that you want to keep in mind. Now we're coming across, again, you can see some grass coming up off the top of this doing down scan right now. You can see a little bit of grass. That's another key thing you want to look for when you're fishing out a little bit deeper. Especially when it's right near a rock pile like this. You can see I'm pointing at that fish right there, and then here's the structure that you're targeting right here. Another change, and that's right next to a ditch. So that's, you can see how it gets darker. That would make it, that's how you know it's a ditch. When it gets darker and then it's lighter is a shallower return. Another giant rock pile. This is stuff that you can't just go by without fishing. You can see that there's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 fish on top of this rock pile right here. Again, and then when you get to this secondary rock pile right here, there's 2 fish on it. So this is exactly the kind of stuff that you're looking for in the summertime. And the best way to do it is just to cruise around until you start seeing it and mark it and come back and fish it. I mean, that's really the only way to learn what you're looking at on side scan. So here's another road bed with some gravel right next to it. There doesn't look like there's a whole lot of fish on there, but that's another key spot. So I hope you guys learned something from this, and let me know what you think. If you have any questions, just put them in the comments below, and I'll do my best to answer you. See you guys.